What is going on, everybody? I'm just hanging out, working in the background here, and thought I would just go live and hang out with all of you. Because at the end of the day, I like to. I find it fun to try and engage with people online and meet new people. So I am also going live on TikTok. Should be fun. I don't really have any agenda or anything. I'm just hanging out. So if you would like to come hang out with me, work with me, feel free. It's life's fun. That's why I do this. So might as well. Might as well. What all are you guys up to today? Doing anything fun and exciting? Oh, you can't change your orientation when you're live. I've been just hanging out. Went to lunch with a friend, which was a ton of fun. So there, let's do that. And now I am live. I'm live, baby. So I just thought I'd jump on here and see what you guys were all working on, see who I could help. If there's anyone that's working on anything specific, you've got stuff on your brain that you'd like to talk through with someone, that's why I'm here. I am here to be a resource for other people when you don't feel heard, when you don't feel understood or appreciated, any of that. My goal is to be here for you. So I would love to hear what's going on in your world. What are you working through? Personally, what I'm working through is I am working through how do I be the best employee for Secure Pacific. I've got a number of ideas that I've put together for prospecting. Why is Kamala Harris the Democratic nominee? Wow. Agreed. That is, today has been wild in the political scene with Biden relinquishing power or stepping down from re-election. And it seems like Harris is going to be the next nominee. I don't know for sure if that's how it's all going to play out. So one of the questions I like to think about is, what is the definition of a conspiracy theory? He died? Someone just said Biden died? I don't believe that. That would be wild if that happened. Now I've got to go do some research. That is holy guacamole, Batman. So naturally, I didn't think he did. He did not die. But he stepped down. He put a letter on X that he was no longer running for re-election. And so I think he is it's going to be very interesting to see how all this turns out. And yeah, the Democrats are freaking out. Yeah, I have no idea how it all works. If the VP automatically takes over, which I know if the 25th Amendment is enacted, then the VP takes over. But when running for re-election, I don't think they automatically take over in running for re-election. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the Democratic National Convention which I think that's coming up here. And does anybody know the exact date of the DNC? I'm looking forward to a nominee running. Man Cakes. What are you running for, Man Cakes? That's awesome. I love when people are getting involved. 819 or something. Oh. Well, if you do decide to run at some point in the future, that's awesome. At the end of the day, we're all in this together, and we're trying to figure it out one day at a time, because we need change. That's the one thing I can guarantee, is we need change. So what does that change even look like? Where does it even start? Most of us, I think, have no idea, and that's okay. It's okay. But what's important is that we get up and work towards change. I'm freaking out. Stepped up to take his place. Democrats love Kamala Harris just as much. That's awesome. I love when people can get together and figure out whatever their strategy is. You've got to do it as a team. And so this life is a team sport, but it's single player game. So how are people acting as a team? How are we getting together as a team? I think that is really important. And I appreciate the conversation, guys. If you know anybody who would like to be a part of it, feel free to invite them to this live, and let's just keep chatting. My opinion is we are going to go through some pretty wild times over the next couple years while everything plays out, regardless of how it plays out, regardless of who's the president. There is a lot of turmoil in our society that has to work itself out, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be fast. But the only way through it is through it. And so that's why I want to encourage everyone, be the change you think we need in this society. Don't wait for laws and rules to change. You be the change. Put a smile on your face and go out and love on people. Go support people when they're down. Go help lift them up, because that's what we really need. We need change on the streets. We need law change. We need legal change, but we really need a change in attitude. How do we support each other? And that's my whole opinion with everything, is how do we support each other better? How do we get on the same page? All right. One thing I want to do today, this is my podcast studio. There's a camera here, captures audio. Every week I call it the National Tax Strategy Education Program. And it is where I walk through my personal board of directors overview. And so it's just my life. How does it function? How does it operate? What does it look like? Where am I at? Who am I working for? Because at the end of the day, time is the one thing. At the end of the day, time is the one thing that unites us all. And so that's why I do this program. That's why I go live. That's why I do everything I do, is because I believe time is the most valuable asset in the world. And time's the only thing that you can never relive. So I put my PowerPoint up on the screen. Now I got to get my TikTok screen to see it as I talk through it. And what I do, everything I do is about complete transparency. I believe if we need change, it's got to start. Oh, come on. There we go. It's got to start with us as individuals. And so that's why I do all that I do, is how do we start being the change that we think we need in society? And I think the way to be the change we need in society is just to decide to be the change. To go out and decide, you know what? We need something better. And what does that look like? And how does it look? So as I go through this, if anybody has questions, anything like that, please reach out, let me know. I'm happy to dive into any of these slides. So I do this every single week. This is my weekly update for my blog, justindcstevens.com. And that is owned by America's Holding Company, which is my opinion on how we should change society. It is all powered by Secure Pacific, where I work full time. And I just do this once a week to keep people updated on my journey. I'm very proud to be at Secure Pacific. And if anybody has needs for security systems, I know a guy. Feel free to reach out. This information was compiled on Friday, July 19th, 2024. And we move on from there. And the goal is to update this document every week for the next 100 years. I realize I will not live another 100 years. Within that time, it's my goal to enlist someone else who wants to be a part of this that will keep updating it after I'm gone. So essentially, the business model is an affiliate marketing blog. It is my blog. I look at it like a billboard for me as a salesperson. I upload a new blog every single day using these glasses, and that is what we do. So it's all based on the true value of time, which I believe you can never go back in time and relive it. So the next thing I look at is my schedule for this week. So coming up, I am full-time with Secure Pacific in the afternoons. I have some, I'm going to be driving Uber, and I've got some counseling appointments, which I'm looking forward to. Got a couple networking events already on the schedule that I'm pretty excited about. So that's the schedule for next week. Next, we look at our social media activity. I believe a company is nothing more than a box designed to collect and monetize time. And that's what social media companies are. So that's why I live stream the way I do to all of the platforms at once. I believe different time is on different platforms. So across my entire ecosystem, I have almost 20,000 followers, and I have, in the last 7 days, we had about 16,000 impressions. So it's a start. We've got a long ways to go. Next is monthly recurring revenue of the 2 programs I sell. Last month, I canceled all subscriptions so I can start from zero. So there is no current monthly recurring revenue from the program I've designed. Then you hear some more metrics that I like to look at on a weekly basis. Right now, we have 100% churn rate. We have no clients because I canceled them all. Eventually, these metrics will all change as the company grows and evolves. So again, canceled all the clients, so we have 0 annual run rate, but we are still moving forward as we move forward. So I have been driving Uber and running all the revenue from Uber into America's Holding Company. So this is how I'm funding the blog and everything I do in the time being. You can see net profit year to date versus last year to date. How is the company going? How's it growing? And all that fun stuff. So product updates, I look at the product as similar to a labor union in the fact that an individual can subscribe and a company can subscribe. The individual subscribes for the annual Christmas ornament subscription program. For that, you get a flag, you get an annual Christmas ornament, you get a owner's manual, and then you become eligible for the Future of Society investment opportunity. These are things that I believe we should celebrate as a society. We should help people throughout their journey in time. So if you have things like get married, have a baby, get divorced, graduate college, graduate high school, become a US citizen, join the military, lose a child, adopt a child, or have unexpected medical events, I believe those are things we should celebrate together. And so if you're a current subscriber and one of those things happen in your life and you've made a payment in the last 30 days, it makes you eligible for discounted ownership in the blog, in my blog. And so that's one of the ways I believe we can be the change that we think we need in society. Next up is the National Tax Strategy Education Program. This is the educational content I make on my blog. It's sponsorship of that content. And so the content's already been created. Anytime you see Justin Stevens' social media, that is the content that people are sponsoring. I'm creating a community on X for people to network and get to know each other and make decisions as an organization. And through being involved in the National Tax Strategy Program is how you get access to that community. And then based on the level of subscription determines how much ownership in my blog every employee gets for being employed at the company sponsoring the blog. And this is how I believe we can collapse time together as a society and do things in a better way, in a faster way. So the base subscription is $150 a month. The most expensive subscription a company can sign up for is $2,000 a month. And each one provides the same product, but a different amount of the product when they're subscribed. This whole company is designed to be owned and controlled by the Class A shares. The Class A shares are designed to be owned by the board of directors. So the chairman of the board owns 15% of the Class A shares. And then each different board team, a board team is a spousal couple, husband and wife, husband, wife, whatever that looks like. And we look for board members in different buckets. So my parents are on my board of directors. I've got a friend who's on my board of directors. My boss is on my board of directors. And then I'm looking for a banking advisor team, a social media advisor team, a financial advisor team, an investing advisor team, and a blogging advisor team to all be on the board to help me make decisions for this organization over time. So this board is 19, Class A is 19% of the company, and that's how we're controlling the asset is through the board of directors. And the asset, once again, is just my personal blog, the Justin D.C. Stevens blog. So 51% of the company is Class B shares. These shares are designed to be the retirement shares. They're designed to be the shares that you can only get by being a part of our system. And then the Class C shares is 30% of the company. And the Class C shares are what I like to take public on the stock market. So the Class C shares are designed to be a publicly traded asset in the future once I figure this out more fully and can explain it better. After that, this company is all about creating liquidity for our owners and helping our owners with what they're doing and how they're doing it. So the current bank account balance is $271. Our current share price based off the last 5 transactions is $1. Based on that information, America's Holding Company, the blog, can purchase 271 shares back from our subscribers at a rate of $1 per share. So there is some liquidity in the asset. It's not a lot, but that's what it's designed to create. And then the Class B shares are designed to be sold back to the blog over time. So as the blog is collecting money, you can sell your shares to the blog in order to take money out of the asset. Now, you have to give up your shares, but that's the trade-off in life. So the longer you own or finance it, the more you get for that investment. And you can own or finance it anywhere from 3 years to 20 years. And you get more the longer you finance it for. Next, welcome new subscribers. We don't have any new subscribers right now. I'm still trying to figure out how to explain this in a way that people understand. Next is just a special thank you to all of our sponsors. I work full-time at Secure Pacific. They are my main revenue source and how I provide for my family. I love being a part of their team, and they are my #1 sponsor. So if you ever need security systems, reach out to us. We can help you out. And then just last, thank you guys for following along. This is my opinion on how we can be the change we need in society. And it starts by you have to look at things differently, and you have to start at ground zero and say, if I was creating something from scratch, how would I do it? Instead of looking at where we're currently at and saying, oh, these are the changes we need. So it's a different way to process things and think about things. And that's my goal as I travel through time, is how do I use all the skills I've learned? How do I use all the knowledge I've accumulated to create an impact in our world? And that's what I'm trying to do with my blog and ownership of America's Holding Company, to create a system that helps our employees over the decades. And that's the thing about this whole program, is it's based on decades. It's not based on weeks or months or hours. And so that's why I believe what I'm doing is different, is because it only happens once a year. You have to subscribe and wait a full year before you and your employees get the ownership of the system. And so that is the way it's designed to take care of us all throughout time. So that's my vision for America's Holding Company, my vision for my blog and my personal billboard. If you ever have questions or would like to dive into it, please reach out. I am here to serve. We're all in this together. And so with that, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining in. All right. Thanks, guys. I know my ideas are interesting, but at the end of the day, you got to start somewhere. And so that's my whole goal, is how can I start and be part of the change that I think we as a society need? And it's our option. It's our choice how we do that. It's our choice how we show up and what we do when we show up and all of it. So, yeah. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm going to go ahead and log off. I'm going to process that content and just hang out, spend spend some time cleaning up and working on the house. So see y'all. See y'all.